everything of. This is everything of. This is everything of. Testing. System 1, 2, 3. Like I don't even think this is working. Yeah, 'cause I'm talking. I don't know if it's recording me or not, but I'm gonna just release my thoughts anyhow. I'm patient with you, and I understand that you got fears and you might have things you're afraid of, but I'm patient with you. I'm empathetic with you. But I'm also your backbone. I'm also your feet. I get that you got fears. I get that you insecure. I get that it's gonna be times where you may want to break down. I get that it's gonna be times where you don't want to be strong anymore. And I realize that a lot of that has to do with also my perception as well, because if I'm in the right place and I'm with you, then it's only right that you share that space with me too. So understand that you might want to break down. You might want to give in. You might want to give up. You might be so tired. Your nerves might be so worked. And I might be the only one there to save the day, the only one there to say something beautiful, to give you something beautiful to feel, to give you something magnificent and real. It might be up to me, only me. Only me. Why? Because I chose to be. Because I put myself in position, supposedly. In your mind, this was probably never meant to be. But let's just suppose you see, let's say suppose we didn't meet, suppose we didn't connect, suppose we didn't have these emotions and feelings, suppose it was a disconnect, suppose our bonds didn't reach each other, suppose our destinies didn't greet each other. Let's just suppose that you wasn't lonely. Let's suppose you were happy. Let's suppose that you were in the most beautiful relationship that you thought you were in. Let's just suppose that all your thoughts were complete. Let's just suppose that you wasn't insecure anymore. Let's just suppose that you didn't have no fear. Let's just suppose that you were finally getting yours out of life and you felt like you had everything you deserved. Let's just suppose that. And let's just suppose that I didn't find you. Let's just suppose that I wasn't dreaming of you. Let's just suppose that I had the one that I was actually waiting for come in my life before you. And let's just suppose that everything inside of me never even yearned for someone like you, because the one like you was right next to me that I was liking, that I was loving. Let's just suppose that I wasn't lost. Let's just suppose that I didn't feel emotionally spaceless or emotionally in a void. Let's just suppose that everything with me was together. And let's just suppose that I was all suited and fitted and sophisticated and mentally prepared for what I had in my life. Let's just suppose that it was never you in my life. Let's just suppose that. Look, suppose that if I was to take you and if I was to kiss you, if I was to hold you tight and gently, and if I was to really understand who you are, if I was to really connect with you, if I was to really put you in a space and in a place that you felt completely vulnerable, that you absolutely felt you could let your guard down, that you absolutely felt you had no need to be guarded, that you had no need to be refrained, that you had no need to have a wall up, that you had no need to have a defense mechanism, that you had no need to remember pain, that you had no need to even use wisdom or experience to get you through this form of rain that I am providing for you to keep you wet, soaked, and empowered. Suppose that I gave you that space, and suppose that I became that place. Suppose that I built myself with all the structure and all the foundation and the support that you needed, and I even add Wi-Fi to me. You know, that's the spiritual connection that you have to receive it. And let's just suppose that I built myself into this house. Matter of fact, let's suppose I built myself into a mansion, and every room is full of gloom, it's full of beautiful things, it's full of magical rooms that you could take a journey on, that you could actually see yourself exploring the world as you go through the gloomy and beautiful forest, and you see spotlights of light you see encouraging words and things that rhyme with the stars and things that rhyme with your name. And it doesn't make you feel bizarre. It doesn't make you feel like you don't deserve it. It doesn't make you feel guilty from having all of this without feeling like you did the necessary work to get it. Suppose that I did the necessary work for you. Suppose that I worked on yourself by working on myself for you. Suppose that I did all the things that it would take to do to keep you right, but I did it with me instead so it could keep you right. Suppose that, but then let's suppose that you feel like, but what about me? But what about me? If I made myself right for you, then making myself right for you is about me. In fact, there is no me once I make myself about you, because you are me. And when I intertwine with myself, when I made myself into that mansion for you, it was all true. And this beautiful quote, in my Father's house there are many mansions, and if it were not, I would have told you so. In my heart there are many souls, and they all represent beautiful feelings of unconditional love. And if it were not, I would have told you so. So let's suppose that you didn't feel guilt. Let's suppose that you felt deserving. Let's suppose that I'm actually the one. Because it seems so far-fetched, like how could this be? How could it come at the time when I'm feeling like I'm in the most need of me, that the one, the supreme being, Shanti, has come into my life? At this particular time when I was decided to work on me, how could I be ready? I'm not ready. I'm still trying to get it together. But suppose that you getting it together never had anything to do with you. Let's suppose that you getting it together actually had everything to do with why I met you. Why I met you? Well, for numerous things and reasons that's beyond your comfort zone. I met you because it was something in you, a familiar feeling, a familiar thing, something inside you, your inner being, your inner soul that didn't want to give up. That special connection that you had within yourself, I also have with me as direct line in contact with me, and it gave me the call. Like, I need to put you in position and perspective, because you have to enter her heart, and the way you have to enter it is by positioning and presenting yourself as if you have all the answers and you everything she's been needing. You are all her thoughts, you are all her feelings in physical form, and it might scare her away, but you cannot give up on her, because I am connected to her. And when I tell you that I'm not going to let go of you, you have to trust that, and I believe that, and I trust that, and that's why I stuck with that, and that's why I'm still here with you. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. I can't even end it by saying the end, because this is a fairy tale that has no end. In fact, this fairy tale is forever going, telling tales of beautiful fairies that tell tales of beautiful things, and how you look like a beautiful raspberry bush blooming with your beautiful hair swinging all over the place. Let's suppose that this is how it always was meant to be. Let's suppose that you was living your life for me. Let's suppose that I was the reason you couldn't stop thinking and still believing in love. I am your love.